Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we'll complete on our playlist. We make a review on some piece of code. So today in this video we want to focus on some kind of code. So this is for the authentications. So we want to make code review for this piece of code, and let's get started. So let's see if I resize the screen. Okay. Now, before we want to make a review of code, we want to understand what the code works. So first here we have the post router, and on the path login. So we understand that this code is for the authentication. So we send the request and the response. Okay, so we have an email and password I sent as a request. Now we have the user model, and we want to find this user by email. Okay, after I have condition, we have user.password. So this the password that already find by user. Find user by email, and let's check with the password that the client sent, and if match, return response he has success as true, and return all the user data. Else, for example here, when the password doesn't match, we return as false with the status 401. Okay, so this unauthorized. First, what my opinion of this of code? There is no error handling. The first, there is no try, and there is no, for example, when the server does not respond or the database does not respond for something wrong happen. So first we want to make error handling. So I want to just copy this, and let's start to make try and catch. So first try, we want to get the user data and compare, etc. But when something bad happen or something wrong happen, the server should respond and console the error. So try and catch, and once something bad happen, I will console dot error. So failed to login, or not failed to login but error, and let console the error to see what is exact the error. Okay, and also I want to return the response in this status when something happened to the server does not respond. So I will make response dot, I want to specify the status of code here 500, that means internal server, dot I want to JSON and success. So let me false with specific message. Okay, now message. So for example here error dot message. Okay, so this the first is the error handling. So we doesn't just return when the server successful to return the response, but when something happened to the server, we want to know what is exact the problem and what is exact the error. So let's also read. We have the email and password, okay, sent as a request on the body. We want to find one email, and after check if the email if the password match with the password already in database. So here the second is to for example, what if the user send the email but this email does not exist on the database? What should return to user? By default this return null. Okay, so there is no user with this specific email, but I want to also make this case. I want to return something for the user that can understand. So I will make the case when when the email, sorry, doesn't exist. So the user is null. So there is no user with this email. So for example, if user, so if there is no user with this email, I will also return a response. So I want to just copy this, return response, okay, with the status of 401 false, and here for the message I will return, for example, a user does not exist, or just this. So user does not exist when the server doesn't find user with the email doesn't exist, okay, or the email is wrong. Also, there is no validator, so when the user does not send an email and password. So here I should to let him that email and password are required. So here the email and password. So if there is no email and password, or password, okay, so there is no email and password, I want to return also another message. Here should be the status or for, and then so that means bad request, and I want to change the message email, or maybe I want the password are required. Okay, so the case of if the email password for example doesn't send by client, and the case of if the email is sent by the client but the email is wrong. So I don't return the user null, but I should to return something more professional. So return with this status of code and a specific message, user does not exist. Okay, now for the compare, if user.password equal to password, return JSON, okay, response with success and user data. So this is completely wrong. Why? Because this user.password is the password on the database, and the password on the database never make as plain text. So it hashed, and you compare the hashed value of the database with the plain text value that sent by client. So here we want to compare two hashed value. Okay, never compare the password as plain text with the password that's already on the database hashed. So first I want to make variable that make compare or check password correct, or let's make is password correct, and here we want to compare. So let me make wait dot compare, and I want to compare the password sent by client and the user dot password. Okay, so I want to compare these two value, and I want to return, so let's remove this. So if the password doesn't match, sorry, so the first case, the password doesn't match, I will return this unauthorized, okay, and with a specific message. So message failed to log in. So failed to log in, for example, email or password is correct. Incorrect. So just let him email or password is incorrect. Now what if the password match? I will just return successful message with change the status to 100 and the success will be true as boolean value. The message is login, for example, make login successful, okay, and also I want to return the user data, so data, but here I don't need, so user data, here I don't need to return all the field of user model. I want to just return what I need, for example, ID, email, and password, not password, sorry, ID, email, or username. So I make ID. So let's return user, and here I will specify what I need: ID, user. I will add the user dot ID value in the ID, and so let's copy this. Here email, user dot email. I want to access the email, and for example, user name, not user name. So this like this. So this when the password is matched and the user login successful, I will return user data with a specific field, not all the field. So just what I need. Okay. So what's the wrong that or the the the, the stuff that the developer wrote this code missed. So first, there is no validator when the user don't send the email and password. So I want to check if the email and password sent by client. Else I will alert him that email and password are required. The second, when the user sent invalid email, okay, or wrong email. So I should to return user does not exist, for example, with this email, or for example email does not, or let's change this to email does not exist, okay, and let's compare the password. So here we want to compare to hash password. The password sent by the client is plain text, and the password already on the database, stored already on the database, is hash password. So never compare text with the hashed value. After if the first case, if the password is password correct, so here doesn't match, so false, I should return success false with the failed login email or password is incorrect. Okay, now with this status unauthorized, you don't have permission to log in. As here when the password correct, email fine, and so just return successful message with success true login successful and the user data and the field just what I need. So this when I want to try to get the data. But when the server doesn't respond or something wrong happen, I should also to console this error to see what exact what the wrong that happened. And with the status, for example here 500 internal server, so the like the mistake is related with the server, not the client. So I think this is for this piece of code, the authentication code. So don't forget to like and add your feedback on the comments below. So thank you for watching.